Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome back to the free-to-play review. So today's topic is going to be the latest iteration of the summon pool, specifically the Savage summon pool, which just means it is an assortment of nukers. And in this particular case, this is the first offering of He-Man outside of the Champion Pass. So if you happen to get lucky, or I guess you could also buy some Prism Shards, you have a chance to get He-Man. However, I would highly recommend not buying these because effectively you'd spend $50 to get 5 shots at him, and at that point you're better off just spending the $40 to guarantee instead of wasting your money. But I digress. Aside from him, we have a good collection of nukers. Harima, one of the best, if not the best, defensive-based nuker in the game for legendaries. Stultus, very good in Dragon, but also a decent nuker in his own right. Hafrak has excellent multipliers and ignores defense within his kit, making him a super viable nuker, granted a glass cannon form, and he's most popular in the Stone Skin Troll team with a common champion just to kind of proc his passive. Trunda, still the queen of Hydra, so I know a decent amount of people might be chasing her. Mishinaki, pretty awesome champion, all-around PvE powerhouse. And actually, you can check out the video in the card up above if you want to see my showcase of all 3 of my Mishinakis. Razelvarg was a previous fusion and is a pretty decent PvE damage dealer, and is uniquely kitted with the fact that his damage scales off attack and speed, and he can also increase his speed by like 100 or so. It's kind of crazy in the end. Wallmaster Atharion is a god when it comes to Hydra Clan boss, enemy max HP with block buffs, decrease attack, so super strong. And then lastly, you have Ragash, who's kind of fallen by the wayside, but he's still a pretty competent nuker, defense-based, AoE decrease defense, and he can deal a hefty amount of damage. When it comes to the epics, a little bit slimmer on the pickings. Fenax is here, one of my favorite epics in the game, damage dealer. Magnar's there, the best HP-based epic damage dealer in the game. Siege Hulk, pretty decent, competent nuker. Zargala, decent debuffer. Husk, good for Hydra. Venomage, great for Amius, and other sort of things. Another Spider as well. Aurora Guard, enemy max HP, decreased speed, stuff like that. So decent amount of epics, but not like the highest quality epics ever, but a decent assortment there. So, but I think the focus here is most certainly on the nukers from the legendaries, and depending on who you have or don't have, this can be a very enticing pool. In terms of the rates, it's pretty much the standard that we've come to know, where it's 6% chance to get a legendary, 94% chance to get an epic, i.e. just like a sacred shard or the equivalent thereof, and it's going to cost you 40 fragments per summon, which is standard for ones that feature headline champions. And in this case, we do have 2 sources where you can get an air quotes free summon, both of which are tournaments. One of them is a Soul Chase tournament, and the other is the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament. So this one is a little bit different than usual because there is a Soul Chase going on, but there is no boosted rates on top of this. And I know a lot of people, myself included, pulled a decent amount of Soul Stones in the last super boosted rates for Black Friday. So I anticipate that actually a lot of people are going to be skipping this one just because simply they don't have any Soul Stones, and I don't recommend that you buy Soul Stones to try and chase this down because, you know, you might walk away with a pretty crappy epic. But of course, that decision is ultimately up to you and your account. For the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament, it's at the pretty standard amount of 6,300, which is fairly hefty, but you have 3 days to get it done. And so that's probably where a lot of people are going to be focusing their energy and resources. In terms of what I plan to do for this particular iteration of the summon pool, I do want to try and max out the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament. There's not a ton of other things going on right now. There are some like Turn Attack tournaments for Yuletide points, but generally speaking, these are a lot more generous than anything else in the game, other dungeon tournaments in the game, and it's a lot easier to get the amount of points with the minimal or relatively minimal amount of energy. As you can see here, even though this is the first day of Spider, I'm already at 4,000 points, well beyond what I needed to get the Titan event points, and so I'm basically freed up to focus on the Sand Devil for the next few days before presumably some Ice Golem or maybe a Fire Knight Turn Attack tournament will start to close out the rest of the dungeon tournaments featuring Yuletide Titan points. And then, as I mentioned, a lot of people probably are in my camp here where you don't have a substantial amount of Soul Stones to pull, on top of the fact that there are no boosted rates going on right now. So it would feel a little bit like a waste to use your Soul Stones right now. Even though you might, again, get a free chance at something, I don't think it's worth it compared to getting stuff from boosted rates from your Soul Stones just to make them more powerful than they otherwise would be. So in this case, my formal recommendation would be to just max out the one you get from the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament if you would like to participate at all, or just skip it if you don't really care to do either of the events. I, once again, don't recommend doing the Soul Chase tournament. I think it's a waste of Soul Stones to not get the boosted rates. But of course, that is just my take on this summon pool. So let me know in the comment section down below what your plan is relative to this Savage summon pool. As always, if you did find this video helpful, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel. And if you are enjoying the content on this channel and want to see more of it, then feel free to also hit that subscribe button down below as well. Thanks for watching and have a good one.